What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today we're going to go over some of the yellow reveals that were released today regarding some of the support that we already spoiled for you on Wednesday, but there's a lot of cool stuff that we didn't get to show you guys, and I'm eager to check it out, so let's jump right into it. The first card, of course, is our Master Roshi leader. I know everybody was excited for us to finally get an actual Master Roshi leader and not just the Jackie Chun. However, he is kind of just the basic leader of the set. He's got auto burst too, so you mill the top two cards of your deck to draw a card, and then when you're 4 or less life, you switch to your energy to active mode. Pretty generic. It seems like the Wish leaders in this set are the leaders that actually have real abilities, while the other leaders are basically attack, draw a card. On his Awaken side, we have Max Power Master Roshi. He's got Auto Sparking 5, so when you have 5 cards or more in your drop area, when he attacks, draw 1 card, he gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So basically, he lets you either say no to blockers, or hey, I want to kill this card. I'm going to kill this card, or I'm going to at least have a better attempt to kill this card. Nothing too fancy. I'm kind of disappointed in his ability, to be honest. I mean, the ability to switch battle cards to rest mode is nice, but barrier is definitely a thing, and so that's not really going to help out as much as you might initially think it would. It's still a cool ability, but I feel like Master Roshi definitely got shafted in favor of the Frieza leader, who is 1, Frieza, and 2, he's a Shenron Wish leader. Up next, we have Sorbet. He's the Frieza leader that we revealed for you guys earlier in the month. And it looks like they've also finally corrected the spelling of his name. Now, he is a Frieza army because he is Frieza on the other side, just like the other Wish leaders. He's got a different character on each side. Now, once per turn, when one of your battle cards attacks, it gets 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Then you choose a Dragon Ball from your deck and add it to your hand. So he doesn't have to attack. It's just any time a battle card attacks. So you can still attack with Sorbet, but the battle cards are the ones that get the boost, which is probably better anyways because they'll actually have abilities. They could have crit or, double strike or something like that. But it is cool that he lets you search for your Dragon Balls early on so you can get to the Wish Awaken ability quicker. And then when you have 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area, you can choose a Desire card from your drop area, add it to your hand, and flip him over, where he becomes the Frieza leader everybody has been waiting for. Frieza Resurrected Emperor. He is Frieza's army, which a lot of people have been waiting for. A new Frieza's army leader, and people were, for whatever reason, disappointed that the Universe 7 Frieza was not Frieza's army. His activate main says, once per turn, choose 1, draw 1 card, choose a yellow or black Desire from your hand with an energy cost less than or equal to your current energy and activate its skill, or remove 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area from the game, and choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and energy, and switch them to rest mode, and this card gains 50,000 power for the duration of the turn, then flip it over at the end of the turn. So, switching 2 battle cards and 2 energy to rest mode is pretty nice. This would have been great against Super Saiyan 3. Hopefully he'll stay banned. But this will also be really good against decks like the Golden Frieza from Universe 7, actually. Or Soul Striker, who has made a massive turnout since the recent ban of Super Saiyan 3. So any deck like that, or any deck that keeps energy up on defense for numerous cards, this Frieza can just go, I don't think so. So, unless you're playing blue and you happen to run a copy or 2 of Zeno Button, you're not going to get to decide what you get to do on your defensive phase. And as I mentioned in Wednesday's video, he is a Frieza's army leader, so you can use Cold Bloodlust, and you can actually do a lot of disgusting things with that second ability to use a yellow Desire card without having to pay the cost and activating its skill. Being able to do that twice with the Mecha Frieza is just disgusting. But I definitely look forward to getting to abuse it and getting to be one of those degenerate players before everybody jumps on that bandwagon. Up next, we have Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku. He's a 2-cost, 20,000 power, basic yellow vanilla guy. First of all, this card's going to look fantastic foil. Just absolutely amazing. But I'm happy about it because, 1, it's another yellow Goku, but it's a cheap yellow Goku. So I can run a quad-colored Goku or Vegito deck with the red Vegito leader from set 2, and this gives me another option. It's a cheaper Goku to be able to play, and he's also a target for the Dimension Trunks. I'm really looking forward to this card more than I should be, just because I really want Vegito to work, and I think this is a fantastic addition to it, whether or not it was or was not intended. And a heads up spoiler, yes, there is a Super Saiyan Blue Goku in yellow for this set. No, there is not a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Sorry. Up next, we have Fired Up Super Saiyan Son Gohan. He's a 2-cost, 10,000 power with Barrier. And at the end of your turn, choose up to 2 of your yellow battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or more, other than this card, and switch them to active mode. So, basically, he's a battle card variant of the Galactic Emperor Frieza leader from set 1. Which is pretty cool, because if you were to combine the two, then it's like having Planet Vegeta for apes, except you can run whatever yellow cards you want. Which I kind of like that. I like how it gives you a lot more utility as far as what you do with your yellow cards, and you can attack with cards and then still have them in, active mode for blocker, for example, or if you just need to keep them alive for another turn. And he gets barriers, so it's going to be a lot harder to get around to kill him. Also, since he is a Son Gohan Adolescence, he's only a 2-cost, you could search him with the Indomitable Link Piccolo if you wanted to run some weird green-yellow variant, or if you wanted to run this in Namekians, you could do that as well for some, like, green-yellow hand control, whatever the heck you wanted to do. It opens up the possibility for other creative ideas, and with Super Saiyan 3 gone, hopefully we'll get to see a lot more creative ideas like this in the future. Skipping from 82 to 84, we have Kick Barrage Piccolo. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 power. Once per turn, choose 2 cards from your life and add them to your hand. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode with 15,000 power or less and KO them. So it's pretty cool. He gets to be a good board wipe for the beginning to mid-range game. And even the end game if they don't play, a lot of high-cost, high-powered battle cards. But it's a yellow Piccolo. Sadly, he's a 3-cost, so you can't, fish him out with Planet Namek. But it does give you extra options to be able to play green-yellow for Namekians, or for just a lot of cards, a lot of decks in general, because he is a Piccolo. And like I said, with that Gohan, you can also use that Gohan as well in tandem. And you could run like a green-yellow control variant of Namekians if you chose to. I still think on his own this card's pretty good, especially since he doesn't care about what color your leader is or anything like that. He just happens to be yellow, so if you wanted to do a dual-colored deck, if yellow was one of the colors, you could run this card, and then you could just have kind of like a free board wipe that actually draws you 2 cards, and if you're not at that point, could potentially awaken you. Up next, we have Krillin, Raring to Fight. He's a 1-cost, 10,000 power. This card's a bit of a unique card and makes your opponent have to kind of play around him just a little bit. When you combo with this card from a battle area, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards with 10,000 power or less and switch it to rest mode. So it's kind of cheeky. If you wanted, you could get around your opponent's leader's ability. You could prevent them from getting that draw if they weren't smart enough to attack with the leader at the right time. But you can combo with him at any time on your turn or your opponent's turn. So if they were to swing with their battle card, you combo with him, bam, the leader's in rest mode, they don't get their draw. Or if they swing with their leader to get their draw and they've got, say, a crit attacker, you switch the crit attacker to rest mode, and again, they don't get that attack. So I can see this card being a bit of a mind game to play against your opponent, and it does give you a bit of control, but your opponent can kind of try and play around it or try and bait you into using the combo ability to switch something to rest mode. But if you switch the leader to rest mode, then there's not really anything they can do, although if you switch a battle card to rest mode, they can use Zarbon, the Emperor's Attendant from set 1 to kind of set their own cards back into active mode once their turn comes around again. Next we have Tri-Beam Tien Shinhan. He's a 2-cost, 15,000 blocker. Not really quite sure what he's in here for. There aren't really any cards that can do anything with a TN card. and nothing really does anything with the Earthling traits. So he's just kind of here is a 2-cost 15,000 blocker, which is kind of nice, but considering there are other 2-cost blockers with effects, he's just kind of eh. Like Master Roshi, all warmed up. He is a 3-cost 19,000 power, and he's also a blocker, but he has barrier. So not only is he at like this weird number where your opponent would have to combo to get around him, which they normally would anyways, but he's at 19,000 power. So it's kind of one of these weird numbers, which I don't understand why they used it, but he has barrier, so he's a much better blocker than TN, even if he does cost 1 more energy. And if we start getting more Roshi support, we can even hopefully find better ways to either reduce this card's energy cost or cheat him into battle altogether. Then we have Full Surveillance Jocko. He's our new yellow basic super combo. The leader is yellow, 4 or less life, draw 1 card. Up next we have Divine Crybeerus. He's our new sparking combo, super combo for yellow. You have 5 or more cards in your drop area. You can use it anytime to combo. If your leader is yellow, draw 1 card. The only reason I would see not using this would be if you were using Dodoria. Simply for the fact that he is Frieza's army. You could search him with the 1-drop Frieza from set 1, or with Frieza's Call as well if you wanted to just pull him straight from the deck. But other than that, if you're not going to go with that kind of strategy, this Divine Crybeerus is easily the best super combo to play for yellow, in my opinion. Then we have Quick Obstruction Whis. He's a 2-cost 5,000 power blocker barrier. By his stats, I thought he was going to be a free blocker, which I thought would be cool for like the Master Roshi leader or something. But nope, that's all he's got. I don't really know why I would spend 2 energy to play this over anything else. I mean, if I needed a good blocker, sure, he might be a good side deck card. But otherwise, he's just alright. Skipping from 90 to 92, we have Deadly Defender Frieza. He's a 3-cost 20,000 with barrier. He's basically the Vegito for yellow, similar to the Xeno Goku and the Krillin in black and red respectively. He's also, since he's a 3-cost Frieza, he can be played with that Military Commander Frieza that we went over in Wednesday's video. So it does give you another 3-drop option that you can play with that ability. It's all right. I mean, it gives you a free way to play him, which is pretty cool, especially considering that all that card has to do is be KO'd. So whether he's KO'd by your opponent's ability or by being killed in battle because he's a blocker, there's a really easy way to just fish out this Frieza for free. And even if you didn't want to keep him on the board for his ability, it gives you a free Frieza with barrier that you could use to evolve into one of the various Frieza cards that we have. So it has a lot more versatility than the Krillin and the Xeno Goku, I think, just because of what you can do with all the Frieza support that we already have. Then we've got Frieza Biding His Time is another card we went over in Wednesday's video. He's a 1-cost 5,000 power. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less, ignoring barrier, and switch it to rest mode. So he's got the same ability as the Goldo blocker from set 1, except he's not a blocker. Personally, if you don't need the blocker ability, this is obviously the better card to play because he is Frieza's clan and Frieza, so he's got a lot more versatility than the Goldo does. Both of which can also be played via Frieza's Call. So either way, they both work. This one, it has 5,000 power, where Goldo has 2,000. Not really relevant. Goldo has the blocker ability, but either way, I think you're pretty set for a good 1-drop. Another card from Wednesday's video, we have Frieza Revenge in Motion. It's a 1-cost 2,000 power. Activate main says, place this card in your drop area, draw 1 card, so he replaces himself, then choose up to 1 Frieza card with an energy cost of 4 or less from your deck and place it in your drop area, then shuffle your deck. Obviously, you're kind of going, why would I put the Frieza in the drop area? But if you saw Wednesday's video, we already went over all the nasty things you can do with this card and just all the combos you can do with the new and old Frieza support, both. But if not, we will explain that to you shortly when we get to the end of this particular video. Here we have Military Command Frieza. He's a 2-cost 10,000 blocker, and when this card is KO'd, choose up to one Frieza card with the energy cost of 3 from your hand and play it. This is actually what's really gross, is you can Frieza's call him out and get out this, 10k blocker on your turn 1. And if your opponent plays something and they happen to be able to kill him, then you can use his ability to play the 3-drop from your hand for free, who has 20,000 power and barrier, and then just start your shenanigans. But you're obviously going to also want to play that 1-drop Frieza to be able to put a Frieza in your drop area, but it's just the ability to play these new Frieza cards with the old Frieza's army support is just so... It's so gross that it actually makes me want to build a Frieza deck. Next, we have Bitter Pass Ginyu, and before you all get excited, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, this does not support any old Ginyu Force support that we had in Set 1. He's a 1-cost, 1,000 power with barrier, and his activate main says, for 3 yellow energy, place this card in your drop area. Choose one yellow Ginyu with an energy cost of 3 from your deck and play it. Then choose that card and it gains critical for the duration of the turn. Then shuffle your deck and draw 1 card. So he replaces himself for 3 energy and you get a free draw out of it. But the brackets that Ginyu is in specifies the card name, not the character Ginyu. So you can't use it to get Reliable Captain, to play him for free, to play him for 3 energy from your deck, and then just drop and vomit your hand on the board with all your Ginyu Force cards. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I thought that too at first, and I realized, wait a second, nope, that Ginyu, it's got the different brackets around it, and so it sucks, because I know a lot of people would have been happy with the ability to get to play Ginyu again. New Ginyu support would make people pretty thrilled. We haven't gotten decent Ginyu support, obviously, outside of Set 1, besides the Reliable Captain and maybe the Dash Pack Ginyu Force. But nope, this one has to be used in tandem with a new Ginyu card that's not really anywhere near as good. But thankfully, we did not need Reliable Captain being searchable from the deck to come out and just drop a handful of cards all over the board. Then we've got Dragon Ball Seeker Sorbet. They've corrected this card as well. He's a 1-cost, 5,000 power. When you play this card from your hand, choose a Dragon Ball card from your deck and add it to your hand. So you do not want to play this card with Frieza's Call, because this one has to be played from hand, and that plays from the deck. But if you're kind of using Frieza's Call on this card, well, I wouldn't know what to tell you anyways, because that's a terrible idea. And here is Ginyu, the 3-cost, 30,000 vanilla card. This is the one you would be using with Frog Ginyu. You basically just pull him out of your deck, and you've got a 30,000 beater. He has critical, which may or may not be as impactful when you play him, but the fact that he's 30,000 is pretty impressive in and of itself. And then on top of that, you get to draw a card, so take it as you will. If you use it if you want to, but it's not really going to help the theme at all. Here we have Vicious Lackey Tagoma. He's a 1-cost, 5,000 power. It says when you play this card from your hand, choose up to 1 yellow desire from your deck or drop area and add it to your hand. And shuffle your deck if you looked through it, so if you didn't, get it from the drop area. Now, he has Frieza's army as well, but he, just like Sorbet, has the words, play this card from your hand, so Frieza's Call is not going to be usable for searching him out to get your desire cards, but I still would say Frieza's Call is 100% worth playing, especially since you can search out some of those 2-drops, namely that Military Commander Frieza, so that you can get your 3-drop and just start doing some stupid shit. Up next we have Savage Shisami. He's a 4-cost, 20,000 with double strike and sparking 5. And when you play this card, if your leader card is a Frieza's army, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier and switch them to rest mode. This would be good against a deck that has a lot of barrier cards, or even blockers like apes. But really, I don't think I would want to play this for 4 energy, especially since there are other better 4-cost cards that you could play. He'd definitely be a good side deck option, I think, if you had to have a lot of barrier issues you were handling. But as far as the Frieza's army, the Frieza support goes, just the ability to play so many of the old support cards with this new support really is not going to leave you a lot of free space. So I don't see there being room for a card like this in the main deck, but it would be a pretty wise idea to have a couple of them in the side deck for those barrier heavy decks. Next we have Yellow's new negate, Time Magic. Now it's not as busted as Dimension Magic, which we went over in Wednesday's video also, but it's your counter attack. If your leader card is yellow, negate the attack, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and it can't switch to active mode until the start of your next turn. So that's pretty cool to be able to kind of put your opponent's cards on hold, where you're just like, I don't think so. I don't want you using this card against me. It would be cool if you could also use it to keep their leader in rest mode so they couldn't get their draw or their other insane abilities that they get on attacking, but I can understand why it doesn't. The fact that you can do it ignoring barrier is also very nice. It's good to see that we have more cards that get around barrier without, completely ruining barrier's ability. And then because it has Sparking 5, you can use the ability by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying the energy cost. So definitely a cool card. I like this one. I like that Whis is the card that gets around barrier and says that they can't switch it back to active mode. It's very fitting of his character and the obvious power that he actually has in the show. So it just seemed to fit really well. And plus, we don't need any more Frieza themed cards. Then we have Revival of the Emperor. It's the 2-cost extra card we went over in Wednesday's video. It gains Desire in all areas, and if your leader card is a yellow Shenron, choose one Frieza card in your drop area with an energy cost of 4 or less and play it. So you can play any 4-drop Frieza for 2 energy. The one I plan to use it with is Mecha Frieza, and then you can also use it in tandem with the leader's ability to use your Desire card without paying the energy cost or playing the card itself. So a lot of shenanigans you can do with this and the different Frieza variants. We also, I'm sure, are going to get a Super Frieza out of this color as well. Hopefully he'll be a 4-cost, so he actually has more playability with the 1-drop Frieza that sends him to the drop, and then with this Revival of the Emperor that plays him from the drop as well. That would be the most beneficial way to do it, but if they decide not to do it, I can understand because this combination is pretty OP. Next we have another Yellow Desire card. It's Personal Ambition. It costs 1 energy, and if your leader card is a Shenron, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So basically it's free, and you get to draw a card. It's just kind of deck thinning, but if you used it with the Shenron leader, then you could get the extra draw and the extra energy for absolutely nothing. But it's kind of underwhelming to me, and compared to the Revival of the Emperor card, this is nothing. Then lastly we have Death Ball. It's Frieza's personal activate battle card. If your leader card is a Frieza card, it gets 15,000 power for the duration of the battle, and if it's your turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So this one also rewards you for playing it on your turn, similar to the way most of the others do outside of Revenge Death Ball. And playability-wise, the best thing about it is it can be used with any Frieza's leader. So we have a total of, I believe, 5 Frieza leaders now. We've got Galactic Emperor and Golden Frieza from Set 1. We've got Mecha Frieza from the draft box. We've got the Universe 7 Frieza. And then now we've got this Whis Shenron leader. So there's a lot of Friezas that can take advantage of this card. And being able to get a free 15,000 power and a free KO is really nice. And it fits Frieza's style pretty well. Although, I don't really know what you could do with it as far as a finisher. Just because Frieza is going to be a single strike attacker. And unless you can just drop all of these when your opponent's at 1 life, it's not going to be super overpowered. But it's nice enough that you can just play it on your turn for that one extra energy you have that you have nothing else to do with it, and just get a free KO because it has no restrictions except for that it has to be in rest mode, and then otherwise you just blow it up, so it'd be good against cards like Bergamo, for example. However, anything that has barrier, like all the new, like the Vegito or all the new Vegito lookalikes, it's not going to help you so much. Still a great card though, and it'll probably look fantastic in foil with all that purple coloration. But that's going to do it for this yellow reveal video. Honestly, I think yellow is the strongest of the three colors right now. Black, I guess, shouldn't really count since it was more just a lot of generic support, and since any color can splash in a bit of black and it not affect their synergy at all. For the most part, most leaders can deal with having the dual colors, although some, like Super Saiyan 3, didn't like it because of its first turn ability, and then Soul Striker, for example, can only use, you know, blue cards for its untap ability, but a lot of these yellow cards are super strong, and it definitely looks a lot better than red, in my opinion. So far, we still have green and blue to look forward to. Blue will be Gogeta Janemba, and green is going to be GT Goku, and I'm still hoping it's Super 17. I'll be pretty shocked if it isn't. But yellow, just with all the old Frieza support that you can use with it, is just phenomenal. If you can use Android 17 support with the Super 17, then I might say that green is the stronger color. But for right now, it's looking like yellow and Frieza's army, all the Frieza leaders, and Cold Bloodlust are going to be a pretty big contender in the Set 5 meta. But if you guys enjoyed this video, if you are hyped for all the Frieza support, make sure you hit that like button down below for us. You know, we appreciate all the support, and we appreciate all of our subscribers as well. We're just about at 1,200, which is pretty fantastic. We're really getting up there now, and all the Dragon Ball content is getting a lot of support from you guys as well. We're usually responding to just comments and comments all day, especially the mornings that we upload these videos, and it just means a lot to me that you guys are supporting us in that way. Let me know in the comments below which cards you think will be the best cards to use in the new Frieza stuff, and if you can come up with any crazy Frieza combos using the old support, I would love to hear all about those as well. We're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here, though, and we will see you guys in the next video.